not gonna like work the rest of his body. He doesn't have that kind of discipline.
Yeah,
so it'll
right.
just be a new face, same hair, and same big ass.
Yeah. I'm out there. People know. Trump annoys me. His whole family annoys me. Yeah. The whole kit caboodle. And it was showing the guy talking to people, whatever. And I was like, that backdrop looks like Donald Trump's bathroom at Mar-a-Lago.
Because this funeral had Donald Trump, and that guy can turn anything into a joke.
Ever notice how Trump reacts differently when someone mocks his policies versus when they mock his appearance? Wanda Sykes just conducted that experiment live on stage, and the results are in. While politicians normally brush off jokes about their looks, Trump fired off angry tweets faster than you can say spray tan gone wrong. Turns out the quickest way to crack his tough guy image isn't talking about his failed policies. It's suggesting his face looks like a moldy Cheeto with a grudge.
I'm wondering, like, is he somewhere like having like plastic surgery, like getting his face redone, like trying to change his identity?
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. What do you get when you mix a fearless comedian, a former president with thin skin, and jokes about orange makeup? A complete presidential meltdown. And that's exactly what happened when Wanda Sykes took the stage and turned Trump's carefully crafted tough guy image into the punchline of the century.
I think you're not a Trump fan then. You would say you're a Trump fan.
I am so not a Trump fan. He annoys me. His whole family annoys me, matter of fact.
Let's be honest, most politicians know how to take a joke. They'll laugh, maybe give a self-deprecating response, and move on with their day. But Trump? Oh no. When Sykes started dissecting his infamous complexion, he didn't just get mad, he went full-on nuclear. It's like he can handle criticism about his policies all day long, but mention that mysterious orange glow and suddenly it's World War III.
This Trump, man, you don't know. He'll probably do something like, like a mix of like Tom Brady and Ted Nugent. You don't know.
Sykes didn't just throw a few casual jabs either. She systematically demolished Trump's image with the precision of a comedy surgeon. Her description of his tan as a spray tan experiment gone horribly wrong had audiences howling while Trump was fuming. It's almost like she knew exactly which buttons to push to send him over the edge. But her comedy arsenal was just warming up. That's when she delivered what might be the most devastating line about his appearance ever. The only wall he built was around his eyeballs.
Not gonna like work the rest of his body. He doesn't have that kind of discipline.
Yeah,
so it'll
right.
just be a new face, same hair, and same big ass.
Boom. With just 10 words, she highlighted the ridiculous contrast between his orange face and those pale white circles around his eyes. And let me tell you, that one line did more damage to his ego than 1,000 policy critiques ever could. What makes this even funnier is Trump's bizarre history of orange-related excuses. Remember when he tried to blame energy-efficient light bulbs for his peculiar hue? He literally said, "The light's no good, I always look orange." Sykes wasn't about to let that slide. She brilliantly questioned if he was also blaming the light bulbs in his bathroom mirror and car, because apparently these magical light bulbs follow him everywhere he goes, casting their evil orange spell only on him.
It's like everyone's waiting for this moment for him to become presidential. Right. They're like, oh, he has to learn how to control his emotions.
The reason these jokes cut so deep is simple. Trump has spent decades crafting an image of strength, power, and dominance. His whole brand is built on being the tough guy who's always in control. But how scary can a tough guy be when everyone's laughing at his makeup routine?
Yeah. I'm out there. People know. Trump annoys me. His whole family annoys me. Yeah. The whole kit caboodle.
It's like trying to be intimidated by a chihuahua in a shark costume. Political comedy experts understand this dynamic perfectly. As James Carville wisely pointed out, once people are laughing at you, they're not afraid of you anymore. And that's exactly what Sykes accomplished. With each punchline, she chipped away at the fear factor that Trump has relied on for years.
70 years old. Those are things that you teach kids. I'm teaching my 7-year-olds those things.
Right.
She transformed him from an intimidating figure into a comedy prop, from someone to be feared into someone to be mocked. The psychological impact here is fascinating. When you see Trump on TV now, you don't see a powerful former president. You see a guy desperately trying to hide behind a wall of orange makeup. The image is impossible to unsee. Every time he appears on screen ranting about something, millions of viewers are no longer focusing on his words. They're distracted by those white circles around his eyes that Sykes so brilliantly highlighted. This explains why Trump reacts so differently to appearance jokes versus policy criticism.
And it was showing the guy talking to people, whatever, and I was like, that backdrop looks like Donald Trump's bathroom at Mar-a-Lago.
Policy debates happen in the abstract world of ideas, but jokes about his appearance attack something visceral and immediate, his carefully constructed image. For a man whose entire identity is built around projecting strength, having that image undermined is existentially threatening.
If he turns on the TV right now, he'll be like, wow, Diamond's hosting the Daily Show.
You know, I know they say he's passing gas and everything.
The real genius of Sykes' approach is that she didn't just make people laugh for a moment. She permanently altered how audiences perceive Trump. She gave viewers a new lens through which to see him, one that strips away the intimidation factor and replaces it with ridicule.
It's just mean. You know what it is? It's mean. Yes. Do I blame Donald Trump? Of course I do. He's made everybody mad. Everybody just angry.
Once you start seeing Trump as the guy with the bizarre orange makeup and funny white eye circles, it becomes impossible to take his tough guy act seriously again. That's the true power of political comedy at its finest. It doesn't just entertain, it transforms.
Now that Trump won, that people with like skin like yours, they're gonna have to leave.
Knowing Trump, he probably only has room for one black woman in his brain at a time.
It takes the powerful and makes them seem absurd. It takes the scary and makes it silly. And in a political landscape where fear is often wielded as a weapon, laughter might be the most effective countermeasure we have. In the end, what makes Sykes' comedy so powerful isn't just the punchlines. It's how she strips away Trump's carefully constructed tough guy act. When she targets his appearance, she's really exposing something much deeper. The man who built his brand on looking strong and powerful comes completely unglued over a few makeup jokes.
Right.
You know, Trump is 70. He's not gonna learn that now.
Yeah.
You know, if he's a dick, he's just gonna be a dick.
All right.
That's it.
Okay, so
Think about it. This guy can handle criticism about his policies all day long, but joke about his orange face? Total meltdown mode. As political commentator James Carville pointed out, once people are laughing at you, they're not afraid of you anymore.
Because this funeral had Donald Trump, and that guy can turn anything into a joke.
That's the real magic of what Sykes did. So next time Trump is throwing a Twitter tantrum about some comedian instead of addressing actual issues, just remember, his skin is literally and figuratively the thinnest thing about him. Turns out the scariest thing for Donnie Diapers isn't impeachment or losing an election, it's being laughed at.